Ooh, happy Tuesday. Still got the battery on the floor. I think it's a bad one. I have to test it, I guess. We'll see. I don't know. No. I haven't had a kohler in here in a little while. Gentleman shows up. Guess we'll point it back this way. This is why I can't have anything nice. My mom absolutely hated that I would play in my school clothes. I'd come out and start working on stuff. So, hang on here. Let me pause this. Alright, so the reason this guy's in here is, gentleman said that it's leaking gas out of the carburetor. They, whatever he did, blah blah blah. He brand new air filter, so that's a good indicator. Air filter smells like gas. I guess that was supposed to stop the gas. He had a clamp on here, but it was like a pipe clamp or a wood clamp. Wood clamp because he made the mention of he's done a lot of woodwork in the past. These aren't bad units. Sorry if you got way out of the purview of this. I wish I had a table to throw that on. These have similar carburetors to the Hondas, and when I say that, they have a drain bolt. So at the end of the season, your last mow or whatever, so everything's just going in a different direction. You can drain out the remaining gas. It's an all-wheel drive unit. The downside to these all-wheel drive units is that if you don't keep the other side of them clean, the idler pulleys tend to get mucked up, and that makes for a hot mess. He's having problems with gas leaking out of it. If I didn't say that already, I meant to say it. These are 10 millimeters usually on the top. You can zip them off, or you can use a ratchet as long as it's a 10 millimeter. So I didn't even try. He just said it leaks, so I believe him. I don't need to know any more than that. Hopefully I have a gasket around here that'll fit this guy. Hi, the struggle's real. Yeah, sometimes they're easy to pull off, sometimes they're not. Yeah. So the gasket, I think I got one of those around for him, so let's see if we can find one of those. We'll pull the gas line here. Just trying to see the doesn't look like it's too beat up. Sometimes the governors come in, they're all beat up. Hang on. Hopefully I don't run out of juice before we get through this. So a couple things that people mess up is they mess up the automatic choke, which operates off of the exhaust. Over there's a little like wax mechanism. I can feel that kind of hangs up a little bit. Let's see, he had the clamp on it, so we'll assume that it was leaking. And see if I can shed a little more light right here. I think that would probably come off pretty easily since he's already had it off once or twice, but it doesn't. does look like there is potentially a hole in it too. So in order to get these out, you usually have to turn them all the way forward. And you just pop them up. What else is hanging down here? Let's see if there's anything. And then have this guy here. I don't know what he's got going on. Almost seems like yeah, it kind of smells crappy too. It smells old. I don't know why, but that seems a little bizarre. Hang on here, let me flip this over. You're gonna come out of view once I flip. While we're documenting, this one's missing over here. So this cover's been off before, but that looks like that. Oh, no, maybe not. It's just down in there, covered with grass. Sometimes when you do these two, you crack the lock between the head and the nut. Makes it kind of a pain in the butt too. But you gotta take this off in order to properly remove the choke mechanism from the looks like maybe some Mises might have been in there at one point too. There's mouse turd right there. A couple of mice turds in there. Mousy turds. Really windy today. Sometimes these go bad too, but these are actually a little better than the Honda ones. The Honda one's a wax ring. This is almost like a old radiator thermostat. And then you can pull that guy off there and set that to the side. And that's a gasket, or a carburetor, not our gasket. None of these workbenches are suitable at this point in time for any type of work. And pause this while I clean this. That's not much better, but it's sort of better. There's that. And I can already see the problem. You can see the gasket right there, so hang on. Now, I'd like to say I know what every one of these gaskets is in here. Some are for Hondas, some are for whatever. I got lucky at one point, and I won an auction online during COVID. But most of the crap was for Brixton Stratton, so I'm gonna say that is a hot mess. I don't even know what to say. I might actually have a carburetor in better shape than that, but Alright, while we're at it. I don't think this is a... Oh yeah, maybe it is. Now, let's do this. Because I really don't want to get... Nothing like shellac and brake cleaner. Oh. And the gentleman, you know, he was very honest with me. I like when people drop stuff off and they're very forward with me. I'm forward with people, and I like people to be forward with me in return. You know, if I screw something up, you know, give me the opportunity to fix it, or you know, don't hold it against me too long. I try my best, and I'm human. I screw stuff up, and you know, if you're perfect, God bless you. You know, I wish I was. If I was perfect, I wouldn't be doing this crap. I guess I'd be God. Yeah, you can kind of see some of that. You know, I know he said he ran a hanger up through this, or a wire. See the post-nasal drip starting to kick in. Let me find a wire though and run it. I think by now I'd have 1,000 twist ties lying around here, but always seems like it's a struggle sometimes when you want it. That feels a little crunchy in there, won't lie. You said have it apart like this, you might as well go all out. And I'd sing some songs. I don't really know any, my voice isn't that great, honestly, so. I'm sure continuing the abuse of chemicals and stuff like that is, I'll drive me to the brink of madness. And if you don't like watching this kind of stuff, sorry, I guess it's not appealing to you. Tell me what you want to see. Maybe you can do that, you know. Jackass of all trades, master of none. More subscribers means more money to do stupid stuff with. Most people just want entertainment, I guess, but... So, alright, let's, look, there's something in there too. I don't know what the heck that was, but... Let's see if we can find a gasket. So, that gasket definitely wasn't going to hold anything. This gasket, I don't think is the right size gasket for this, but let's see. Negative. So, I find a flat gasket. Those are all flat gasket. Because I believe this is actually a flat gasket. It's supposed to be a flat gasket. But some of them are a little thicker than others. And most of the gaskets that I have will be for like a Briggs & Stratton guys, but I think that we can make this guy fit. Negative. Needs to be thicker. Because right there, I think we'll run into flow pole gasket. That's too thick. I don't know what that's for, but that's not for that. How about these? Are these it? It's the same guy. This is for rotary, or bi-rotary, I should say. That looks more like it. I have to stretch that a little bit because it is cold. So that's what I do, is just stretch them out a little bit. They usually fit in there a little bit easier. If you watch my other videos, I put grease in there too to hold them in place. And fortunately, that looks like it's twisted right there. Biscuit. Might need just a little bit of manipulating, but I think we're good. I think we got it. And back hurts from trying to position it in such a way that you can see what's going on here. So if you see a little twitch or shaking going on, it's because my sciatica is killing me. Oh boy, that's a little clogged up too, isn't it? Hopefully there's no big hunks in there. And we find the guy that we started with. There's a little debris on the top of that, but that is from years of gas in it, though. That varnish and tarnish looking that's in there. Let me see if I can find. I hear it. The old ball. Sorry, yeah. Entertainment. I think that's about as good as it's getting. So I try to do this so that it's exactly the way it's supposed to be, right? So again, that one might be down in there too far too. Well, let's find out. Hopefully it's not. And the unfortunate part is there's no good way to test that until I put it on the unit. So I'll hang the carburetor without the gaskets and just make sure that the football holds gasoline. So looks like that is. Unless he doesn't have gas in here. No, there's some gas in there. Although I think it's bad gas. And what you can do to really confirm that there's gas in there is crack the bowl, or if there's enough room here, which there probably isn't. Nope. I was gonna say tilt it. If you tilt it, you'll definitely know you got gas in there. And I'm probably gonna have to, so I'm gonna have to get a gas. So, just smells a little old, so I don't know where I got the gas from, but and I probably should drain it. Maybe I will yet, but in the air norm. Let me see if I can find. See. See, let me find a gasket for that. Well, as much as I hate to use the old one, I exhausted my resources here, and I do not see any places that I would normally see them in. So that's an unfortunate scenario. Not overly concerned, but it does kind of suck. Would have been nice to replace that too. Yeah. I think it was a full-blown alcoholic the way my arms shake. On right. That was not right. Don't remember. So that's supposed to be closed. This was all right either. I'm pretty sure it goes behind the. It's supposed to be closed. And then it's supposed to open up. But that can't be right either. Is this thing broken? Guess we can test it, but come on. So it's supposed to be closed there. This thing might not be. I don't know. That thing might not be working right either. Goes down this way, but feels a little crunchy right there. So this would be the starting position, and then as it heats up, it's supposed to open the choke up, but it doesn't seem like. Oh, maybe there, we'll go with that. And these are all the same, but I'm going to try to keep the crusty ones in their place. that stupid gasket. Come on. Seriously? Cereal. Are you cereal? Just, come on. You need to, I guess, you want to be a pain in the butt about that. Why? You're not gonna. There. How's that? Put that gasket back on. Yeah, would have been nice to have a new one. I don't know, I feel like that wire there is probably in the way a little bit. It rubs on that or something, but whatever the engineers put together there, out of the way. Might be able to plumb in a fuel line there, shut off line, but before I step on those and get them in the bottom of my shoe, that'd be terrible. There's quite a bit of mouse poop in there. Hopefully I didn't lose a mouse in here. We all know that that's happened in prior episodes, and I'm not good at raising baby mice, unfortunately. I mean, I'd like to when they come in like that, but when they're too young, unfortunately, they need another mouse mama to Actually, I don't think they make the Husqvarna all-wheel drive one anymore. I think it's now it's sold by it's a Briggs & Stratton engine, and it's sold by Tractor Supply. No, I probably. Yikes! The struggle is real. I do. You keep doing the same thing that doesn't work because you think it's going to work. All right? All right? All right? took that extension off and now I can use it on. Lots of mouse poop in this thing, man. Oh, should have definitely left it outside overnight. I gotta get the extension for that. Alright, let's pause it and open the door. Let's see how hard it is to start. Let me put an air filter back on that. I didn't think it was going to start right away, to be honest. I'm like sucking a little dirt into it. Sorry. They're kohler. Try not to run it like that too long, eh? Protection, but I can't see anything in my mess. It sucks. Can you find anything? No. I'm ready to lose my marbles. Nothing. Can't even find anything to wrap around the handlebars. Stuff around this thing. Small, tiny, ridiculously small garage. Sounds more like an ignition problem than a fuel problem, because it started out real nice. I do still have some doubts about that automatic choke on this, but we're gonna swap the spark plug out. I'm also gonna drain the gas out of it. because I think the gas is not so good either. So let's do that. Nice windy day out, you know. Usually you can squeeze those out of there, but let's hope I don't burn myself. Well, I need more room. Yep, definitely need more. Definitely need more. And 3-year warranty. Eh? Gas doesn't look terrible, that's for sure, but it doesn't smell quite right. I don't know why. And you know, doing this, maybe shake something else out of it too. You know, pour it that way or do it that way. I normally have a siphon. Today's just not one of those days. Find my set of sockets. This hot mess of it. Here we go. Let's pull these out. Biscuits. Never find it. Torque magic out and make sure that I have a right torque on this. Spark plug has a white tinge to it. I don't know if it's new, old. It's a Kohler. You know that. Yeah. Let's see. Let's see if I dig out of my box a spark plug for that guy. Pause that a minute. You don't need to watch me change the spark plug. Running's not the issue now. Something else is definitely going on there. I don't know if that choke plate's like sticking or yeah, the choke plate's. I think this thing's the automatic choke mechanism is not quite well on this because it's not pulling that all the way back. And honestly, it could be that it's bent and broken. He said you have to, you know, you saw there you had to pull it off, but it doesn't seem like it runs any better with it open either. So The carburetor, the gentleman said that he got off another unit somewhere, and I mean, it is a name brand carburetor in there, but the reality is that I don't know how much more dialed in I can get it at this point. I don't think it's an ignition issue. I still do think it's a fuel issue. And see what happens, but with as crusty as it was, hopefully some of those flakes kind of either suck through there and it evens out, or you know, you look at other options. I cleaned that one out as best as I could, and it would have been nice if I would have put the clamp back on there when I was putting that all back together. I guess I assumed I was going to pull it right back off. So it's easier to do that when it's off. Like saying I can't find the long needle nose that I just had, right? So, anyways, happy Tuesday. Here's the long needle nose. It's just easier to do. Wow, it's off. This is a weird knurl that they put on the end of that. Alright, happy Tuesday.